Hello, everybody. Welcome to Saints Vision. I'm Jim Powers, the voice of Saints. Glad to have you with us as we start to go through our coaches' interviews every Monday during all of our athletic seasons. And joining us is the head cross-country coach, Micky Kaufman. And, Coach, things get wound up a couple weeks ago and some great things to build upon from last year, not only cross-country side, but also the outdoor track and field season for the Saints.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got some good returning runners and a good crop of freshmen coming in, so we're really excited to really get going. Just had our first meet, so got our feet wet and gearing up for the next one.
Let's talk a little bit about that first meet. Obviously, some performances we knew were going to happen, Elizabeth Kiplinger and some of the guys, and some of the freshmen did very well for you as well.
Yeah, we had some great performances out there. Like I said, Elizabeth, we kind of expected a school record coming from somebody today. Justine Seidel was only a couple of seconds away from the old school record as well. So we only ran the 4K distance this week. Not a typical race for us, but great. Again, a great race to get our feet wet. On the men's side, we had 3 men go under the previous school record that Kyle Deacon set last year.
Right.
We're redshirting him this year, so he didn't race. But having those 3 guys go under his record really sets us up to be in a good spot moving forward.
Let's talk a little bit about this past weekend. Obviously, you just mentioned it was a 4K race. It wasn't the typical race that you would run in a normal meet. Talk about the differences between the two.
Yeah, really, we don't try and change too much. And the men ran a 6K, but at this point in the season, what we go for is right now we should be running a 4K about as fast as we want to run a 6K at the end of the season, pace-wise. And then same thing with the men's 6K. They should be able to run their 8K or 10K late in the season as fast as they ran their 6K today.
Talk about the early season workouts. Obviously, the first couple days of practice, it was the normal summer that we've had here in St. Louis. It was kind of, not as hot as normal and different things, but then all of a sudden Mother Nature decided to amp it up big time on us.
Yeah, that first week was a rough one. We had to switch some things around a little bit because we certainly weren't acclimated to that 100-degree heat that we were getting. We had such a nice summer. That summer training went really, really well. But we had to do more running in the morning than we usually do during the first couple of weeks. We also had to do, I had to get out there and make sure they were getting plenty of water on their runs. So,
let's talk a little bit about the coming up week or so. What's coming up for the cross country team? I know you guys kind of have this where you're not running every weekend for right now, but you're going to start getting geared up for later on in the season.
Yeah, really what we're trying to do this year, because we have an extended season being the fall festival, is we're trying to race mostly every other week. So we're going to have this weekend off, and then the following week we go to a big race at Missouri Southern. Should be a lot of teams there, some really good competition. The next week we'll have our home meet. And those are our only 2 back-to-back weeks of racing this year. So from there on out, we'll go every other week at Lewis, and then we will head to St. Louis College of Pharmacy, and then we have conference regionals and hopefully nationals.
Talk a little bit about the GLVC cross-country side. Obviously very competitive once again this year.
Yeah, it's always a tough conference to be in. We got to get a good look at a couple of schools, and University of Southern Indiana, where we just competed, is strong as always. And we were 30 points, I think, ahead of McKendree on the men's side and lost to them on the women's side by a few points. But we're hopefully get the women ahead of them and keep the men ahead of them.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, we'll talk to you in a couple weeks. Good luck, and enjoy the fall weather that we're going to have here for the next couple weeks with training.
Yeah, thanks, Jim.
Micky Kaufman joins us, as he will every other week on our coaches' interviews. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Maryville Saints. You'll be able to catch up with all the great cross-country results that happen throughout the week. Also, like us on Facebook, just like our page, Maryville Saints Athletics. For Coach Kaufman, I'm Jim Powers, the voice of the Saints. Glad to have you with us on MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision. Have a great week, and as always, go Saints.